Hi there, it's Beth from Scrapping Wonders, and I have a art journal tutorial for you for the Calico Collage design team. And I will definitely be leaving a link below to the printables that I used for this project. It's all about fairies, and who does not love fairies? Well, I know a lot of people don't love fairies, but in my house we have to love fairies because of the mini-me that made an appearance in one of my DT layouts already. So for this one, I was trying the image transfer, and I took this from the printable sheet and I blew it up to about a 6x8 in Photoshop. So I cropped the image and then I took it and put it onto a 6x8, and then I printed it on regular printer paper, and I'm using Liquitex matte medium, the fluid kind, to have this image transfer occur. Now, I am still trying to get image transferring down. It is not something that I am good at, but you know what they say, practice makes perfect. So at some point, I'm going to make this happen, and I'm going to make it happen in a very pretty way for me. But in hindsight, for this one, obviously I should have let it dry the first go around. So then I ended up having to print this all over again, which is not a big deal. So I printed it again and started all over again, because you're going to see in a second here what ends up happening to this paper, and it's not pretty. So, okay, so there you go. You see, I didn't let it dry fully. I tried to be impatient and I ripped the entire sheet. So here's the other one, and I didn't make you watch the process of me putting it on again. And I soaked some water after about an hour, probably an hour and 10 minutes of it sitting there, because I went and worked on some other stuff. And then I took my paintbrush and just threw some water on the paper, and then you can see me rubbing. Now in some areas I rubbed a little too hard, some areas it didn't seem to really want to come off, but eventually I got there, and it didn't take too long. You can see that top half, I'm not sure if I rubbed off all the paper and that's why it's so dull, or what happened, but it's quite dull on that top half. And obviously the printable from Calico Collage is beautiful and vibrant. So, and I know when you're doing an image transfer, you don't end up with a vibrant image. You end up with a dull down image, and that's, you know, that's fine. But I don't know what I did wrong, but I decided to go ahead and roll with it. And then after it was all dry and I rubbed everything off, I put 2 coats of clear gesso down, because I didn't know what I was going to do with this, as well as I wanted to seal my image. So I used the Dina Wakley clear gesso just because that's what I could find. I also have the Prima Fiber Arts clear gesso, which is actually my favorite clear gesso. And then I used some of these Martha Stewart paints. One is in a pink and one is in a gold, and I will try and link these paints to you below, but they're, you know, it's hard to link the Martha Stewart paints, but I will try and link the colors. I don't know, we'll see what I can find. I don't know what I'm going to be able to find in regards to these paints. They're just like some random paints that I picked up off in Michael's at one point. I like them because they do have a nice shine to them, and you know, they're fairly cheap over at Michael's. So one of my favorite things to do with these paints is kind of like layer them into each other. So before this gold is fully dry, I'm dipping into the pink paint and I'm lightly brushing it in to the gold paint. So I get a touch of pink and gold in the background here, and it looks really, really pretty in real life. Not so much on the, it doesn't, the colors don't shine through, the shine doesn't shine through on the camera, but it's really pretty. The background ended up becoming outstanding, even though I didn't get the image transfer that I wanted. I have the bottom piece of the image transfer, which is really what I was going for, because that's where all the fairy stuff is. So in the end, I am quite happy with this aspect of it. Now, see the same sheet. This is the sheet that I told you I went ahead and had blown up that picture and then image transferred it. I took the fairy and I decided to cut her out, and then I took the card that says believe in fairies. So this is the fairy here, I fussy cut her out and I use her on the layout. And then the Believe in Fairies card, I use that tool there to distress the edges of it so that I have a nice roughed up edge on my card. And then these two butterflies are actually from Calico Collage as well. They have been sitting on my desk for, you know, a while now. And they are from the paper dolls that I used last month, which I used quite a bit of. I love those paper dolls. So here's the fairy, and I glue on all of my stuff with my fabric tack glue. I know I preach it every video, but I'm telling you, if you do not have this glue, go and run and grab it because it's just awesome. And you would swear that I get paid for every time I tell people to use this glue, but I don't. But it's really, really, really cool. Next, I have some Posca pens. And I only have 3 of these paint markers, but I really, really like them. I picked them up from Jet Pens a while ago, and they happen to be, I don't know, what do you call them? Like glitterly paint pens. They have a shine, they're glittered to them. I don't know how it works, but they're really, really pretty. And it just so happens that the 3 colors that I have are perfect for this because these are the 3 colors that I needed to punch up in the layout. So I basically outlined my flowers. I outlined that little bird bath thing that you've got going there, the stems of the flowers. Let me tell you, this green is stunning in real life for this Posca pen. It is really, really, really pretty. And you'll see in the close-up shots of at the end of the video how pretty and vibrant these Posca pens are. And I really, this is something that I like doing. Like, I like having an image and then punching it up with my own stuff as well. So that's another thing that's wonderful about Calico Collage and the principles, is that you can really turn them into whatever you want and make them your own. So just because you have a principle of a design doesn't mean that you can't turn it into something that is for you and that you have created yourself. And that's something that I really love about the Calico Collage principles. So here I was really just trying to blend in my fairy a little bit because I didn't like the way like her dress seemed to like stand out too much from the layout. So I took some of this gold paint and I rubbed it on her and underneath her some more, and then I wiped off a little bit. This butterfly does make it on to the layout, but you know, it took me a minute. And now I'm gonna work on the little fountain slash bird bath thing here that we've got going on. And this is pretty much it for the layout. Like, I don't do anything else with this art journal layout. And I have to admit, I was a little scared in the beginning, but I didn't give up. And that's something that I would like to, you know, tell you to make sure that you do when you're art journaling, is don't give up. If it's not looking the way that you think it should look, just keep going forward, because you never know what might end up happening. You might end up falling in love with it. Doesn't always happen that way, but sometimes it does. So I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I will leave the links below to Calico Collage's Etsy shop so you can go ahead and check out all of her fabulous, amazing principles. And we would love it if you would join us over into the Facebook group, which I will also leave linked below in the description box. There's lots of inspiration in there, and it's a pretty fun and nice group to join on Facebook. So thank you so much for watching. See you later. Bye.